Hey listeners, you're listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. Grab some tea, a midnight snack, and cuddle up in bed as we dive deep into today's most popular fantasies, sci-fi, and mysteries. We're your hosts. I'm Lily.
I'm Brittany.
And I'm Christy.
This season we'll be discussing the cultural phenomenon that influenced the entertainment industry for generations with its cult following. That's right, hold on tight, spider monkeys, we're headed to Forks.
When you can live forever, what do you live for? This podcast. You live for this podcast. Also, maybe the vampire who takes a shine to an innocent girl. Welcome to Sparkle High. Let's go.
In this episode, we'll be discussing Book 2, New Moon, chapters 1 through 4, where the unthinkable happens when Edward tells Bella that the Cullens are leaving and they'll never return.
Before we get into it, this is your warning for major spoilers ahead. This includes potentially all Twilight materials, including the movies, interviews, and companion books. We're also avid fans of the Moss universe and might accidentally let spoilers slip for other popular romantasy book series as well. Sorry in advance, like the other seasons, this podcast is rated R, so be warned.
Also, this is a warning for sensitive topics that may trigger some people. Despite the humor and the fun that we bring to sensitive topics, even we forget on occasion that some things are difficult for people to discuss. Please be aware that this episode includes discussions of depression, suicide, and SA. Take care of yourself, readers. Let's get into the episode.
Friendly reminder to please like, subscribe, and follow. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, Facebook, and YouTube. You can also join our growing community on Patreon for bonus content and more.
All right, well, last we left off, Bella had been saved by her knight in shining armor, or her sparkly vampire, as it were, and she was recovering from a pretty bad accident, or at least so her family thinks. But we get a little bit of a time skip.
Her friendly or her pretty bad accidental arson.
Right. So even though she burned down a hotel, all was well.
A ballet studio.
Ballet studio.
She just broke the window at the hotel.
I was thinking of her falling out the window of the hotel, and I mismatched the two together.
Just minor property damage at the hotel.
Yeah, you know, that's nothing to worry about. They could sue if they wanted. But we get a little bit of a time skip, and we start at the beginning of the school year, close to Bella's birthday. So we don't get to see the happy summer months that she spends with Edward.
Probably laying in that meadow. Glittering.
Yep. And I know I stated in the previous episodes that I don't really like this book. And to be completely fair, I have not read it more than once. So I'm really hoping as we continue to read this book that I like it more than the first time I read it. But wow, is it a bummer.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Why did I think this was one of your favorite books?
It's Brittany's.
I said that it's the one I remember the most reading.
Yeah.
So I guess it was my favorite, but also my memory of it is literally in a darkened car riding to Atlanta for Thanksgiving, which was not my favorite thing. But I probably remember it the most because it is the most relatable.
Right.
And yeah.
I think I thought it was your favorite, Lily, because of Jacob. Maybe I just assumed that it was your favorite.
I think there's more of Jacob in the third book that feels a little more intimate, although I do like Jacob in this book.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah.
I told y'all I accidentally read into chapter 5 when preparing, and my notes for that was, I don't remember this Jacob. I like this Jacob a whole lot more. Oh, Jacob's so cute.
I like Jacob a lot, and I fear that as we continue to talk about these books, it's going to end up being like a Jacob apology. I don't want that because I feel like the Twilight fans are going to come for me.
Nope. I still remember how much I was like, fuck you, Jacob. Fuck you.
Yeah, we'll see once we get there, because his character just starts to spiral downward as we get more into the series, further towards the end. And I agree that he does questionable things. So let's keep that Hope that everybody
He
knows
does.
that.
I'm with you though on Team Jacob though.
Until he does his crazy shit. Yeah.
Even then, it's nowhere near Edward level crazy shit. So
a lot of times, yeah, to me.
So
aside from recession indicator, I think that he's fine most of the time.
Ragatouille.
Yes. So the opening of the book has a quote from Romeo and Juliet, which I think is what?
I cannot listen to this quote without thinking about the book These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and I'm just like, I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh.
I haven't read that at all.
Mm-mm.
I haven't either, and I know I should. It's been on my TBR forever, but it's just such a pretty cover, and I've heard such good things about it, and I'm like, this quote just will forever be connected to that series for me.
It's funny that you think of the book These Violent Delights and not Romeo and Juliet.
I hate Shakespeare. I've told you before, I'm not a classic. I think Romeo and Juliet are dumb and they died for nothing and they're stupid. But, you know, I know. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. I'm not a classics person.
And that's okay. That's okay. Not everyone has to be enamored with the classics.
No.
But the preface kind of gives us a glimpse into what we're going to see later in the book. But I see that there are some comments here about this preface. What's going on in the notes, guys?
So I was like, okay, explain it to me like I'm 5. So Edward barely sparkled. Yeah, he sparkled some, but barely. Alice could easily have run through the square. She isn't trapped by the sunlight. It's not like she's going to burn up and die. And for all anyone knew, she could have just gotten a little nuts with the body glitter. So,
sure.
Which I think body glitter is the most excellent excuse ever. And I wish, especially like in the 90s, that was...
Yeah, I was about to say, that's like a great explanation.
Why didn't Stephanie Meyer think of this? I had glitter all over me. I loved it.
I feel like this is the issue with fundamentally changing a character type without thinking it through, because then you have to go back and explain shit. And it's like the Stephanie Meyer science. And
yeah. Thank you.
Makes no sense.
I'm actually so really glad that they're bringing body glitter back in as a trending thing. Not that I could wear it, but yeah. It's nostalgia.
She really wanted them to glitter, and she wanted it to be just that. She wanted it so bad. I don't know. We'll talk about it once we get to that scene, but it is the most dramatic, next level rush to save this, frankly, not worthy man.
It reminded me a lot of my being chased by things dreams.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was just having flashbacks of a dinosaur chasing me through a mall and hiding in a pile of clothes. I guess I told you guys pile of clothes was my Edward.
I told you guys that I used to have this reoccurring dream that the Scooby-Doo gang was chasing me. Like it was, didn't I tell you guys that?
Were you a cranky old lady?
No, so it was like, you know how on the title screen of the old school Scooby-Doo, they would show you what monster was going to be in that episode, and it was always the Scooby-Doo gang chasing them? Well, instead of that, it was me being chased by the monster, and then them chasing the monster. So it was like everybody chasing me on the title screen. And I used to have that reoccurring through my whole life. I probably had it in the last 5 years. It just every once in a while will pop up again. And it's the same dream.
Stefan should come rescue you.
Oh my God. I got to meet Patricia Briggs this weekend. I told you guys, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm such a lucky duck. Anyways, back to our Twilight. What's up?
I was just going to ask, how was she?
So nice. So sweet. She was very quick because I didn't really know what to say, and that's fine. But she was like, yeah, I get to talk to my best friend every day. She was like talking about Mercy. She was like, Mercy's always in my head and she's always being a smartass. And her bestie was there helping her sign books. So that was cool. And she drew a little coyote in the book, which I thought was adorable.
I
And then
feel
we took
like
a picture together.
I feel like I need macaroni and cheese for dinner tonight.
Right? To honor Mercy. And brownies.
And brownies. And I have both of those things. Dang.
So, chapter 1 rolls around, and like I said, we're back to the first of the year. I feel like this dream that Bella gets,
It's
right at the beginning of the book.
September 13th, correct? Is her birthday?
Yes.
Mhm.
She's a Virgo.
Yeah. It's the day before my grandmother's birthday, so I always remember it. But anyway, what you got against Virgo?
No, Christy's a Virgo.
Yeah, I was about to say.
She is not a Virgo.
Yeah.
It does not fit her.
She's not a perfect Virgo, I guess.
I mean,
But
I
I
guess
don't know why she chose September 13th.
she gets the organ. When's her birthday?
Stephanie Meyer?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I guess she gets the organization part of the Virgo.
Isn't her room a mess?
Stephanie Meyer's birthday is Christmas Eve.
Oh.
Really?
So,
That's ironic.
yeah, God's gift to the world.
Well,
So this scene where she's dreaming about being an elderly woman and still like being with Edward.
Yes,
It never, I don't know, like as a middle schooler, I just thought it was weird to care about it. Like I wasn't thinking about being old until I hit, I don't know, 25 maybe. And then I was like, oh man, I'm actually aging. You know what I mean? I didn't really think about it. But at 17, 18, for her to be freaking out about getting old and dying, I was just like, that's insane.
for real. First of all, I have a question. Because I haven't looked at the illustrated guide in a while, but do vampires show up in mirrors in this world?
I thought
Yeah,
so.
as far
And
as I
pictures.
know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and pictures.
Because he shows up in the pictures.
Yeah.
But the other thing, I was just like, and I know this is weird coming from me because this has been plaguing me lately, but what the fuck is with her age obsession? It's 1 year. And first of all, maturity, I know that there's some brain development that is stuck and needs to happen, but maturity comes from experience
Mhm.
and age. And he's not 17. He's 107 or whatever. I don't know how old he is. 100 something.
Yeah.
I got the feeling more of her issue was not necessarily the age part, but being wrinkly.
Yeah, I got that feeling too.
I felt like the visual
when they're talking
was
about
the issue.
when they're talking about her birthday, she's like, "Oh, don't mention the fact that I'm 18. I'm a year older than Edward."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I do think it's because she's afraid that she's going to continue to age physically.
Yes.
Because in her mind, I think she's convinced that eventually it's going to happen. You know what I mean? She's like, I'm definitely going to be turned into a vampire, regardless of what he says. I'm going to wear somebody down at some point, whether it be Alice or one of them. I'm going to convince them to do it. But she's like, it needs to happen as soon as possible because I cannot look like I'm 80 or older and be with Edward.
I get that.
Yeah, she's checking for wrinkles.
Yeah.
I get
At
that.
18.
But I mean, as a girl, generally, as a teenage girl, I preferred older men because
I think that's a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it got me in trouble, but I mean, once I hit college, I was surrounded by younger men, so.
And I think it's more socially acceptable for her, in her mind, for it to be that way. And she doesn't want to be, I don't know, 26 like Esme with Edward. And I think she's super preoccupied with it. Now, to be fair, I think if I were in her situation, I think I'd probably feel weird about it if he wanted me to not be immortal and just stay with him.
Yes.
That is weird.
Yes, that is weird. Yeah. He's making no logical sense. You know, it's
no.
The brain.
Realistically, that's not going to happen.
The brain
well,
part.
No. I mean, at some point, the authorities would get called.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and it's just like, I realistically cannot believe that Edward wouldn't care about it after some point.
Okay, he admits that he was thinking about suicide after what happened with James. And so I'm like, you'd rather kill yourself, even though you think you have no soul and you might not see Bella after death.
Yeah.
Than change her?
Yeah, the irony. It's like, I don't know. I think
some logic?
His logic is warped. It's definitely warped.
Yeah.
It did crack me up that she was like talking to this older version of herself, and she was like, well, Gran, you might have noticed that my boyfriend glitters. It's just something he does in the sun. Don't worry about it. Like,
he took a bath in body glitter. It's fine.
He just is very glittery.
Uh-huh.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
And I love that in the dream, or she's like describing the dream, and every time she's like, oh, Gran's eyes reflect the panic that's in mine. She smiled just like me. She did this just like me. I'm like,
yeah. In the movie, it is unsettling to see it because you're like, I don't like this old woman with this 17-year-old. It just feels gross.
Yeah.
But anyway, she wakes up, and guess what day it is?
It's her birthday.
The worst day ever. It's just the worst day ever. She just doesn't want him to get older. She's like, ugh. Even though she told Charlie that she didn't want any gift, of course he got her a gift because he's a good dad. Just trying to be a dad, get his daughter some gifts, and she thinks she's fucking dying. And not in the fun way, like the sparkly vampire way.
She thinks she's dying, but not in the fun way.
Yeah.
I understand the not wanting to celebrate your birthday. Like, I was telling Chrissy, because, it was her birthday recently. Shout out to the readers. Say happy birthday.
Yay!
But I was like, I've had some really bad experiences with birthdays, and I literally have a tradition that if I'm with people and have people over or whatever, I generally choke on Skittles. It never fails. Every birthday, I will, if I'm gonna eat Skittles, I choke on them. Never fails.
To which I asked, why do you keep eating Skittles?
Why are you continuing to keep them around?
I haven't eaten Skittles on my birthday since probably high school now. But it was every year. And there was always some kind of drama. So I developed I just don't want to deal with it. And I've been surprised. I think I can remember maybe like 3 birthdays that I've been really surprised and really enjoyed. And the last 2 of them were with y'all. So,
well, I think it's understandable to not. I think there's plenty of reasons why you might not want to have your birthday celebrated. That's not the issue here. The issue is that she actually doesn't have any good reason not to celebrate her birthday, and she's being a bitch. Maybe not a bitch. She's being an ass to everyone around her.
Mm-hmm.
In the book, I feel like Edward and Alice working together to conspire for Bella to have a birthday party is mom and dad conspiring to set up a party for her. Because why does it feel like when she's at school and she's arguing with Alice and Edward and they're like, Bella, this can happen the easy way or the hard way?
I love that.
Like, which do you choose? Because it's going to happen regardless. And I was like, what is happening here? If she doesn't want a party, don't throw her a party.
Respect her boundaries.
Yeah, like as much as a tantrum that she's throwing, if she wants to be like that, let her be like that.
Okay, well, I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate. I guess not devil's advocate, but more of, because I would love to fault Bella for this whole section of being a complete and utter epic dumbass, except for the fact that I myself had the same reaction to birthdays and acted like a dumbass as a result. And I love the fact that Alice is not having it and that she's
just like, shut up,
get over it.
Yeah,
this will happen. So I liked that aspect of it.
I mean, they
So,
certainly
yeah.
had good intentions, right?
Mhm.
I know that it seems in this case that Edward and Alice are like, we're celebrating your life. Like, we want to make it a day about you. And that's lovely. But I guess in my opinion, I'm just like, if this person doesn't like parties, like, I'm not a party person. Don't throw me a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like more quiet, intimate things. Like, my parents are always, what do you want to do for your birthday? I want to stay home and watch a movie.
Yeah. Like, I just want to hang out. That's all I want to do. Or like the person that always wants to take pictures, and I'm always like, I'm good. Like, I don't really need 1,000 pictures of everything that's happening right now.
That would be me. Or at least that would
be me, but only if it's an animal.
You're the person that wanted pictures?
I have a DSLR Canon, and I liked taking pictures. I did not like candid or posed. I only did candid. And so I would put them on my Facebook page, and then my friends...
You'd be my enemy.
My friends would be like, no, you can't. I'm horrible. And they were not horrible. It was wonderful.
You would be upset if I did that to you.
And then, so I had a deal with them that for every photo that they hated of them, I had to post a shitty one of me. So there's a lot of shitty photos of me on Facebook that I need to take down. But, you know.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I guess I'm just not, I'm a party pooper. There you go. I am a party pooper. I'm the one that doesn't want photos. I don't want parties. I don't want... bleh. I'm just like, no, let's just hang out.
Oh, I'm also, most people who like taking photos, they're also the ones that are like, don't take photos of me. And that's also me.
Yeah. But Bella, when it comes to her birthday, as she describes them planning everything, the party and the presents and everything, she feels like their relationship is unbalanced, it seems. She feels like Edward just has so much to give, and she, according to her thoughts, has like so little to give. I don't think that's necessarily true, but Bella's just infatuated with them. She's like, she just thinks that they're
so wonderful. I don't deserve him. I never, ever, whatever.
Yeah.
And monetarily, too. I think she feels bad she can't reciprocate.
I get that. I do.
And it doesn't make sense that, because we know he wouldn't care. But I think for her, my heart broke for her a little bit that she felt that way.
I will say it's interesting that she works at Mike's Sports whatever, and that Edward wanted to buy her a car for her birthday because all I could think about was 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my God. I kind of hated him wanting to buy her a car. I was like, stop trying to buy her a new car if she likes her truck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing wrong with her truck. I know he hates it, but just because you drive a souped-up sports car does not mean she has to.
Right.
It doesn't go fast enough.
Although I will say, the both of y'all do epic presents. So, like, this is one. Here.
Yay! Christy is wearing her Wolfram Heart t-shirt that Brittany made.
Yes.
All the Buffy fans.
And for the Hocus Pocus script that Lily got, I'm gonna do a framing on that.
Nice.
The thing about this birthday party that I had a question about, why the fuck didn't Alice see what was gonna happen?
Yeah, I had the same thought.
Yeah.
I had the same thought, actually. I was like, why did Alice just allow this to happen? Because surely she picked out the gifts she knew Bella would like because she was looking ahead. I was thinking, like, why wouldn't she have seen anything like this? I don't know.
It's not like
Bella... a paper cut.
Yeah. Okay. I have a thing. I'm diabetic, so my fingers are bled to death. But I have never had a paper cut that has gone deep enough that it actually bleeds.
Oh, I have a lot.
I know it happens, but I have a hard time from wrapping paper.
I have one right now as we speak that is still on my finger.
Well, I mean, I've had it turn red, but not like a whole drop of blood that I could stick into a meter and test my blood sugar with. I've had it.
Yeah, but He's at a high school. He goes to high school every day. You're telling me that one person there a day doesn't somehow cut themselves, and honestly, that the girls aren't bleeding ever.
Right? For real.
I mean, you should be up in the women's bathroom like it is a fucking steak sandwich, you know?
Yeah, that's a criticism people have of the movies and the books, is that Jasper is probably around a lot of menstruation and like is apparently not affected by it. I'm just saying.
Like at their pants.
Oh my god. But okay, and also I didn't realize that they graduated. I forgot that Rosalie, Emmett, and Jasper graduated like a year early before Alice and Edward. I didn't think about that.
Because they were all seniors.
And
Alice and Edward and Bella are all juniors in book 1.
Yeah, I totally forgot. But back to the party. Yeah, no, I have had paper cuts that are fucking gnarly, to quote one of the best K-pop songs of all time. I'm making beats. Okay, anyway. At work, one of my jobs is processing, and I do a lot of refoldering, and the folder paper cuts, getting a cut from a folder, guys, oh my god, that is next level paper cut, and that shit hurts.
I could see that.
That
Folders
shit hurts.
Are heavy duty paper.
And they get in there.
But
that shit hurts bad.
Fucking wrapping paper?
So that is where it's unrealistic for me, is that wrapping paper, it depends on, I don't know, maybe wrapping paper was better in the 2000s. Because, I don't know about y'all, but wrapping paper is flimsy, foily.
Yeah.
And I mean, it can be sharp. But again, and then it may be because, you know, I got some tough fingers because of all the finger sticks. But again,
sorry.
Never has wrapping paper or even a piece of paper cut me deep enough that a bead of blood has come out. I literally have to stick my fingers with metal, turn it up to the highest degree in order to even get the tiniest bit out of my fingers.
I have bled from a regular piece of paper quite a bit, but even still, Jasper should not have been so on edge that he was going to launch himself at her. At this point, either he should have better control or he should be more used to seeing a little bit of blood or smelling a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, you're telling me there's not one type 1 diabetic at that school? Do you know how many times we have to draw our own blood?
Well, they had the blood typing class. How did they all not die that day?
Well, they skipped.
Yeah. The Jasper scene is obviously the impetus for Edward deciding it's time to leave, but we do know that he had been considering it long, long ago, ever since Bella was quote-unquote endangered by him.
So when I picture that scene where Jasper's losing it, all I can see is the movie Jasper. Big eyes, big hair, like just that's I can't
wide,
picture
crazy eyes.
I can't picture it any other way.
Yeah, which I think, if I remember correctly, at the time, the guy who plays Jasper, I think his name is Jackson Rathbone. I think at the time he was playing Sokka in the live-action Avatar, which, dear God, what a bad movie. But he was playing Sokka, and so they had shaved off a lot of his hair for Sokka's role.
And he had to wear a wig.
Yeah, the wig that he was wearing is so funny looking to me.
Okay, so I saw an interview with him where he was like, I was new to the industry, so when they put this wig on me, I thought it was the most hideous thing I've ever seen, and I didn't know how to tell them. So I was just like, it's great.
Yeah, I saw that as well. And you know what? You know, I understand where he's coming from. But god damn. Oh my god.
Hideous.
That's just so funny to me.
Hideous. He was like, I got my real hair back in movie 3.
We also, in this scene, I do want to point out that Emmett is such a cutie pie. He wanted to be there for her birthday. He made the effort to be there, even though they were in... Where were they?
Africa.
Yeah.
I thought they were in Brazil.
Sunnyland.
I thought they were in Africa.
They
They were
probably were in
Africa.
Africa. I just probably went Brazil. What?
No, they were in Africa, like the sunniest place ever. Are you kidding?
You know, they were probably in the middle of nowhere, Africa, just like chilling.
Hanging out with
Sparkling.
the lions.
Yeah. They were hunting game.
Wait, how could they hunt though? Because if they're out there sparkling,
know.
rainbows are hitting the ground. These lions are going to be hitting that like a laser.
Rainbows hitting the ground. They're blinding the lions. They're blinding them. Oh my god. Yeah, I just thought it was cute that they came back because Emmett wanted to be there, like a little older brother, and that he put the stereo in her car immediately, which, you know, she does rip that shit out with her fingers like later, but
I want to know what Emmett and Alice, if I needed an Edward point of view, this is what I would want, because I need to know how Carlisle felt about it, how Alice felt about it, how Emmett felt about it. I still don't really care what Rosalie thought about it, because I know that Stephanie Meyer would be like, leave, yes, let's go.
She would be like, oh, this is ridiculous. Like, it's just time for us to leave. Bella shouldn't be here. Like, all of this stuff like that. I wonder if Stephanie Meyer didn't finish writing all of them from Edward's perspective because she got so much backlash.
Yeah. I also thought it was funny that when I know this is jumping ahead a little, but when he does tell her to leave, or that they're leaving, he's like, well, Carlisle can't, he can barely pass for 30 and he's claiming 33 now. And I'm like, how old did you think I was when I first met you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were maybe like 30.
And then I just remember one day we were talking and I was like, yeah, when I turned 35, this happened to me. And both you and a coworker just got quiet and I looked at y'all and you were like, how old are you?
Yeah, I was like, what? I thought you were way closer to our age.
And so you can't tell by a person's face.
Mm-mm.
I knew somebody who was 14 and looked 26.
Yeah, some people look really young for their age and some people don't. He was getting away with it fine. I'm sure he was. And they were going to leave anyway, eventually, so it doesn't really matter. The scene so after Jasper tackles her and really Edward pushes her into the table because Jasper tackles her, right?
Yes, and I was like, yeah, that one is your fault, dude. That one is your fault. You could have stood in front of her. You could have stood in front of her.
Man all over.
But no, you're just going to be like, whoop. Sure, I don't want to get her hurt, so I'm going to hurt her myself.
Ragdoll.
Well, she doesn't the ragdolling. She doesn't just get a little bit hurt now. She's really hurt now.
Really hurt.
Glass all up in her arm, like arm sliced open.
So much glass.
Like, uh-oh.
Yeah, so much glass in her arms that, you know, she can't even count. Which, by the way, again, why was there glass plates there? Why was there plates at all? Bella's the only one who could eat.
They could sit down and watch her.
Big ass cake just for Bella.
And it's not like they have to pretend to eat in front of her. She knows that they can't.
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
It's all an excuse for Alice to shell out and have a party, you know what I mean? But it's just a fucking mess because now she's real fucked up. And it's funny because Bella gets a bad rap for being clumsy, but damn, that wasn't Bella at all.
No.
But she gets sewn up by Carlisle, and we have like this really nice scene where she's talking to Carlisle and kind of getting to know him, which I think, one, she should have fainted by now. If she faints at the drop of blood...
She pricked her finger and fainted outside.
Yeah, she should have full-on fainted by now, like gone. But she does get to talk to Carlisle a bit, and we learn about the Volturi. Well, actually, did Did we learn about the Volturi earlier with Edward, or was
with
that with
Edward
Carlisle?
when he was talking
Yeah.
about that's how he was going to commit suicide?
Right. And then with Carlisle, he reminisces on turning Edward. That's what it was.
Which I don't know if I said this in this episode 3, I think, where we talked about his wall of history, his own personal history on the wall.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Who the fuck puts their own... Like, I get pictures, but who has a timeline of their history on their wall in paintings like they're the freaking Messiah?
I thought of it more like a murder board.
Cool. Murder board. I think it's reasonable to have pictures of yourself. They didn't have pictures until like what, the 18th, 19th century?
Pictures, fine, but he had to have these commissioned unless he paints.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, well, isn't it implied that the one with the Volturi is actually a famous painting?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, I get that.
That might not have been commissioned. I don't know. I still think it's cool, personally. If I lived that long, I would want record of all the places I've been.
I mean...
But maybe that's the archivist in me. I don't know.
I would want scenery shots of the places I've been to remember things by, but I wouldn't like put up a whole hallway of my life. I might put up the times, not me.
Vampire Hunter would be like, thank you.
Yeah. Everyone trying to prey on his downfall would be like, oh, good. We have a whole timeline here.
This is why he's evil. Look at all the things.
There we go. Which, if anyone is evil, it's not Carlisle. I will say that. He's so tame.
I don't know. That's why my next one, I feel like Carlisle is eating babies in the basement.
What? What?
He's too perfect. There is something wrong with him.
He is supposed to be perfect. He's supposed to be like
the Messiah.
Perfect.
The vampire Messiah.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like the Joseph Smith of Twilight.
Correct. Something seriously wrong behind the scenes.
Yeah, problematic. Bad example, I guess. But, Smire might disagree. I think it's funny, though, that all of them kind of clear out really fast. And then Alice is kind of hanging around for a minute. And I was like, oh, there she goes. She's left too. And then Carlisle says that she kind of asks Carlisle why he feels the need to be a doctor. Does he feel like he has to make up for something? And he's like, no, I'm not making up for something. I'm just playing the hand that I'm dealt. Which, personally, I think is cool. I like Carlisle.
I like Carlisle.
I do like him, but...
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I didn't like the fact that she asked him to turn her, and he was like, that's between you and Edward. This is my choice. My decision, my body, my life.
Yeah.
If Edward doesn't like it, too bad. He'll fucking get over it.
Yeah, and it's the central theme for the rest of the book, too, which I think for 3 books going on forward, I feel like it's a good thing for us to think about, because the problems that people find with Twilight as a series are things like this, where it's like Bella has very little autonomy. Edward is making all the decisions for her. A lot of it is a thinly veiled metaphor for innocence. I think that Edward being obsessed with her quote-unquote soul is interesting, because if anyone should be obsessed with her life and her afterlife, it's her.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, it's all of these men making these decisions on her behalf, which is a huge problem with the books. And that's a problem with Jacob, too. He tries to do that as well. So we'll talk about it as we continue to see Jacob and Edward get even more involved. But this is where it starts. This is where she finds out, oh, Edward's obsessed with my soul. And yet... And yet we have things like he wants to kill himself because he can't live without her.
Which I believe in the Bible it says that killing yourself is, super sin. Although it also says that all sins are equal. And it makes no sense that people are like, suicide is the worst sin ever because you can't ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, it's interesting because he has to be romantic, but he also has to be this weird paragon of morality. God forbid he take her soul.
When he is the most immoral person ever.
Yeah, like he's definitely questionable. Like he's breaking into houses. He was masquerading as a vigilante. I mean,
he's a complete douchebag.
Yeah, he's an asshole. Here we go again, just completely dunking on Edward. We also learned that Carlisle, and we already kind of knew this, but we also learned that Carlisle spoke to Edward's mom and that she seemed to have some kind of inclination that he was a vampire. And she was like,
gave him permission.
Save his life or whatever. And that's why he turned Edward. Which I think it's funny that he was like, I wanted a companion. I'd been alone for so long. And then he made Edward his son.
Well, no, at first they were brothers, I believe. And then he was Esme's brother. And then eventually became son.
I think I just forgot that.
After there were more.
Wow.
That does make more sense. I think I remember the brother thing. I don't remember him being Esme's brother. But it's weird, though, because now in the books, he treats him like a son. Chrissy's about to implode.
I did not know that.
Let it out, Chrissy, please.
Did I not read that part? Or is that later on where we find out that he was like the brother first and then he's Esme's brother?
I think it's in the illustrated guide, yeah.
Oh my God.
There's so many nuggets of intellect in there. And by intellect, I mean, what the fuck is going on?
What the fuckery?
Oh my God, yeah.
Of Smire science.
My
science.
sister / mother. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. She gets sewn up. She's fixed up. They get into the car because Edward's very upset about her getting hurt. And he's like, I'm going to take you home. And I thought it was kind of interesting that he brought up Mike Newton in the car.
I was so over Bella at this point. I get it. She's upset and stuff, but I'd rather die than date Mike Newton.
That is annoying. But to me, it's insane that he's bringing up Mike Newton now of all times. And he's saying, you should just be with someone like Mike Newton. Talk about insecurity. My guy. That's what you're thinking of right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I understand if you're upset about her being hurt and like you're worried about her. But to me, there's a difference between being concerned about Bella's health versus being concerned about being the man that she should be with. Because it's not... Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like...
He's so concerned about other men.
When somebody tells you, oh yeah, if I ever die... You need to mourn me, but then you can move on. You need to move on.
Right.
I think he just likes to hear her tell him that she doesn't want anybody else. I think it's like, when somebody says something negative about themselves because they want the other person to disagree.
Yeah. Like
I feel like that's
for it.
Yeah, because he's completely insecure.
Yeah, he really is.
Hey, I completely understand her paranoia. From this moment on, her literal thoughts are like, what's fucking going on with him? He looks upset. What did I do something wrong? What's going on? Oh, he looks sad. Oh, he's got flat face. Oh, resting bitch face.
Yeah, that was getting old. That was getting really old. I do think, okay, so at the end of this chapter, there's a part where they've already walked past Charlie, I think, which Charlie notices the arm. Thank God. I would have freaked out if he did not notice the arm. Charlie is unaware that he's staying over, and so she's trying to like push Edward a little bit softly into going a little further. And she's like, since it's my birthday, I want you to kiss me again. And he kisses her, but pulls them back and refuses to go any further. And this is what I mean by, I feel like the metaphor with the thing with her soul is a metaphor somewhat for her innocence and purity. Like he doesn't want to like sully her.
Yeah.
Yeah, her virtue, which is kind of gross. I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It's, again, my body,
like
my
he's
choice.
in charge of it.
Yeah, he's in charge of it. And it always made me wonder, like, if he eventually, quote unquote, took that virtue or, she didn't have that, would she be less interesting to him?
Yeah.
Nothing to chase anymore. I just think he's no fun. He also unwraps her gifts for her.
Oh, I would be pissed.
I was losing it. I was like, let her at least unwrap the gift.
That's part of the fun.
And I know that she got a little paper cut, but she's a big girl.
And if she gets a paper cut now, who cares?
Yeah.
You've already experienced it. Nah,
God.
I had that happen to me once. My great-grandpa had dementia. And so we were at Christmas one time, and I was opening my present, and he stole it from me, opened it, and held it up, and it was a pair of jeans. And he was like, I don't think they'll fit me. And I was just like, you stole my fun.
Oh, no. He didn't know.
And I know, and it's literally one of 3 memories that I have with him. But
unfortunate. That's actually kind of funny. Sorry to laugh at your pain.
And he hit me on the head with the present. He just went
bonk. Damn.
He was a little crazy.
Back to the story.
Tangent.
No, I did like that in this part. She uses him as an ice pack.
Oh, yeah. When she hurts her arm, she's like, I just kind of want to, I don't want him to know that I'm hurting, but like if I just use his hand, he'll know, but I don't want him to know, but it will feel better.
I have never really been able, I've had bruises and stuff that I needed to put ice packs on. And until last couple of years, I've never really been able to do it. But now I'm like, oh, ice. I have like a whole head ice pad thing for my headaches. Mm-hmm. I mean, Edward is finally showing some usefulness.
Yeah, being freezing cold has its uses. I mean, she did have to put a blanket in between them when they laid on the couch, which is insane. But, if you're really hot or if you broke something or bruised something, he's right there. He's handy.
Yeah.
Which, again, I know we talked about this before, but shouldn't he be room temperature? Not freezing?
Why should he be room temperature?
Because he's a dead body. What's creating that coldness? Dead bodies are room temperature. Unless you freeze them.
He's less of a dead body. Like, he's not a zombie. He's undead.
He's like
but he's not a zombie.
But that's my thing. Like, unless you freeze something, it doesn't generate coldness. What in him is generating coldness? When we touch something,
is usually cold,
marble-like.
Though. Yeah, stone is usually cold.
Yeah,
I mean, even in like your
marble-like.
house.
Because
yeah,
it's absorbing stuff. Oh, and I had another thought when he's kissing her. She very specifically mentions his venom-coated teeth.
Yeah,
and I was like,
oh.
So why doesn't... I thought every fluid in his body was venom.
Yes, but I think that's retconned later.
And so why doesn't him kissing her in like exchange of spit put venom in her body?
They don't do that. That's what's implied here is they don't do that. They just press their mouths to each other.
Even then, you've got fluid on your lips.
It's not enough. It's not enough, apparently. I'm just saying, that's a crazy part of this, is they aren't going any farther than just pressing their lips together really hard. That sounds awful.
That sounds awful.
God.
Plus, you're kissing a stone.
It's like
she's loving it. Yeah.
So, quick question. Say he's in class one day and he has his mouth open, right? And she shuts her hand in his mouth under his teeth and like rips up so that it goes into her skin. Could she just turn herself?
This is a genius idea, Chris.
Yeah. She should totally do that if she really wants to be a vampire.
If she did that, would he suck it back out?
Okay,
in the middle of class.
The thing is, in the middle of class, she would start screaming and people would intervene and then they'd be like, okay,
bad things
Bella,
would happen.
It's just a little bite. Why the fuck are you screaming?
Right. But they would at least take her to the hospital and then he couldn't suck it.
I don't know. I don't think it's a bad idea though.
I wish it would have happened. I wish it would have
forced something. That's crazy. This is a problem with consent, though. We should, acknowledge he did not consent to venom her. Yeah. Okay. However, okay, going forward, I will say Bella is such a pain when she's like being super mopey, but I really understand her here. And like, I totally get that sense of impending doom when you're about to be broken up with. Like, you just know sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
He won't talk to her. He's doing weird things. He takes her book bag from her, but he puts it back in the car. She's so confused, but also slightly in denial. She's like, what's the worst that could happen? And she's like, nope, don't think about that. What's the worst I can deal with? That's not good either,
She's
like,
also a little delulu.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
She's like, oh, okay, so what's the worst that can happen? We'll probably just go away together. And
yeah.
I have to leave Forks and I'll miss Charlie, so I'm going to take all these pictures to remind myself of them.
Yeah.
But we're going to be together.
Yeah.
He's leaving. I can tell he's leaving, but he's going to take me with him.
Because Jasper leaves and the others leave and then Alice is gone and then she's like, okay, it's probably just she's going to come back and then everything will be fine. And then she starts to spiral. And then it becomes like, and then I'm going to take pictures. And then also, I haven't seen Alice in a few days. And then I got this camera and all of these different things. And I have to admit that Bella beginning to slowly realize how wrong this is over the course of the chapter, I kind of have to hand it to her because while it's annoying that Bella is mopey after this, for me, it felt like the chapter was going faster and faster and faster as she was spiraling. And I don't know if that's a case of Meyer intentionally doing that or if it's because I'm frantic as the reader feeling what she's feeling.
Yeah.
Knowing how that feels to be, almost broken up with.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Either way, it worked.
It was hard to honestly read this chapter because I identified with so much of it. And
yeah.
It was heartbreaking.
As much as I bitched about the paranoia and the whining and whatnot, it is probably, I think, the most relatable chapters in the entire series.
Yeah, I agree. Her, from almost getting broken up with to the afterwards, the months that pass on the page, I think this is one of the things that people bring up a lot when they talk about the Twilight series are the October, November, December, and they do a really good job of showing it in the movie too, of just the spinning around the chair. It's so perfect.
It's one of the most memorable moments in the movie.
Oh, absolutely. And in the books, I think that it's one of the most interesting literary devices I've read in a young adult novel in a long time. I mean, she's captured that feeling of being so in despair at a young age.
And I think it was her publisher's idea.
It's great. It's perfect.
Yeah. Like I think they added it in, like she wrote the book and then got edits back and added it in.
I'd have to go back and look at the illustrating guide because I don't remember that being the publisher's notes or publisher's idea.
It might
but
not
that
have
could
been,
be the case.
But I think the publisher was like, we need to have some kind of indication.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So maybe it was still her idea, but the publisher was the one that was like, there's something missing here.
Yeah. I think that's what I heard.
We should go back and look at that.
All of those points were so cruel. I know like the both of you have noted on the fact that he doesn't even take her back inside. He knows she's out there.
Oh, that infuriates
He leaves her. He takes her presents.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these things, like why would you even bother
cruel.
doing them? Because he had to know. And it's like, I don't know.
I would have lost it. Like, okay, so yeah, he leaves her there. He knows that she follows him and gets lost or whatever. But for him to go back and make it where he doesn't exist, you don't get the right to do that. Those were my presents, my photos, my memories, and all you did was make things worse. And he didn't take the stereo, so he didn't make things the way they were. Like,
I think it's like a weird...
I would have taken it back to him. Don't touch my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this term is overused a lot, and we use it jokingly too, but it's kind of like a weird gaslighting because it's like a none of this ever happened.
I didn't exist. I didn't exist.
Yeah. It made her question a lot, probably like so much, not just their relationship, but was that real? Like, is he real? She says later on, all I want to do is know he exists. All I want to acknowledge is that he exists.
Yeah.
And she's like, even if I don't remember, I want to remember that he exists. And I feel like that is a direct correlation to him removing all the evidence that he was ever there.
Oh, yeah. And she does...
Like it was selfish.
She does very specifically mention the fact that she hasn't tried to commit suicide because of Charlie, yes, and Renee, but also because she needs, like, if she can believe that he is alive, then she can be alive. But if she can't get that, then there's no reason to be alive in the world, which is very melodramatic, but completely teenagery. So I'll give her that.
Go ahead, Christy.
Yeah, he doesn't show any care for her whatsoever. And if you really cared for someone, then you would not leave them in the middle of the woods. You're so worried about their health and safety. You're so worried about getting hurt from another creature. And then you leave them out there, and it takes them a while to find her. Right. So it seems like his leaving and all of that was completely and utterly selfish because the only things that he did were to protect him.
Yeah. And
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And all he did was hurt her. Like, okay, a physical wound can heal. And I know he's worried about killing her. A physical wound can heal. A wound like that takes way longer. I mean, it can heal.
Right.
But you have to work at it.
It's a betrayal. Yeah, it's a betrayal from the depth of her soul. I mean, he tells her, he pounds it into her mind that he's like, I love you. You're the only thing that matters in my life now. I live for you. And I mean, like, he's intense. It's very much like love bombing. It's like very intense. And then he takes it right away from her. And it is such a betrayal, I think, to Bella and the reader.
And for him to sit there and be like, I don't want you.
Yeah.
When she
really
already,
nails it.
Yeah, when she already feels so insecure, and he knows that.
Yep.
Well, that's what surprises me too, because if Stephenie Meyer is pretending that he loves her, he has talked about killing himself if he loses her.
Right.
And she has talked about that with him, that she would rather die.
Yeah.
And yet he is perfectly fine with that option being there and treating her in such a way that it could drive her to suicide. And because it isn't even just that he leaves, but he makes it so much epically worse that suicide is an option that could have happened. And yet that's fine with him.
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing to bring up because clearly Stephenie Meyer, I don't know if this is the case actually, but this is my thoughts on it. She opens this book with Romeo and Juliet, and that is the most tragic, classic story that we know. They kill each other once they find out that the other person is supposedly deceased. And I feel like that's what's going on here. She's trying to set up this tragic, dramatic love story. And I do understand, but it's because it's so modern and like, because it's set in like a teen modern day romance, it feels worse. It's so much worse.
Also, and didn't Edward say that Romeo was an asshole for how he acted?
Yes.
And also, weren't Romeo and Juliet 14?
Yes. Yeah.
Logic there, people. You don't think like 14-year-olds. Being a 14-year-old is not good role model.
Yeah. And also, those are dramas. We're not supposed to emulate those.
Right.
They're dramatic.
Yeah. I was going to say, for me, Edward says that he was going to kill himself when he thought that Bella wasn't alive anymore.
Right.
What is the point of going away and living out your life away from Bella? And then when she dies, you commit suicide because you can't stand. Where is the point of that?
Yeah.
Why, if you're going to do it, then just do it now. And then, I mean, I do not condone suicide, but I'm just going to go live in misery until my love of my life dies and then kill myself. That's his thinking right now. And I'm like,
it's unhealthy. And we should state this for the record. You should never feel this attached to someone that you feel that is the only option. And in fact, if you're in a relationship like that where they tell you those things, that's not healthy for either partner.
Not at all.
Get help.
No, it's something that has been glorified in a lot of media, and it's not cool. It's not okay.
Not okay.
No, and you need to reach out for help.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's dependency. That is not a relationship.
And oftentimes that's where you're heading into a relationship with a narcissist as well. That love bombing and...
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I know somebody who got into a relationship with somebody and literally they slowly cut them off from everybody. They depended on each other, and then there's no way out when you need it.
It's very hard to get out of those situations. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's another reason that it hits me really hard is I have been in those kinds of relationships before, especially where I got really entrenched in a relationship. And then when it was over, I felt this hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
A quote that stuck with me is the end of this section right before we get to the months. And it says, I hoped that I was fainting, but to my disappointment, I didn't lose consciousness. The waves of pain that had only lapped at me before now reared high up and washed over my head, pulling me under. I did not resurface. And I think this depiction of depression should not be romanticized, but I think she did a good job of depicting how it feels.
Yeah. I agree. Like I said, this section is probably the most relatable in the entire series.
Yeah, for sure.
I do find it interesting that we did get our first introduction to the werewolves.
Yes.
An actual
Sam
werewolf.
Yuli finds her.
And right before she hears animal sounds.
Yeah. And notice the first thing he asks is, have you been hurt? Did someone hurt you?
Yeah.
And
do I need to kill you?
Clearly he's like, looking for signs of something happening. They assumed the worst, but it's kind of heartbreaking that he picks her up and then takes her to Charlie, and Charlie's just like picking up phone calls after phone call of people checking on her. Did you find her? Is she okay? And it's kind of crazy because Bella doesn't care about that stuff. She doesn't care about anyone else in the moment. She doesn't care that Charlie was freaking out. She doesn't care that all of her friends, people are calling, like, is she all right? Did you find her? She's just like, I don't want to talk about it. And she's just like,
does kind of care about that phone call from the reservation where they're like, oh, they're having a party. They're having a party.
Yeah, there's this big fire on the cliffs, and the tribe has been celebrating the exit of the Cullens from Forks.
Which Charlie was weirdly upset about that. I mean, I get him being like, okay, but he was oddly angry.
Well, he was angry.
He's always
in
liked
book
the
one.
Cullens.
Yeah, he was angry in book
I know,
one.
but it wasn't like they pushed him out.
It's just, it's to think about it. If you think about it in the fact that Carlisle is not a vampire, this is a guy, a doctor, who came to this small town because his wife wanted to be in a small town when he could be making loads of money elsewhere, and he's helping people out, and people are treating him the way that I was treated at the library, but worse.
No, I definitely get his taking up for them, but in that moment, it was just odd he got that angry that they were celebrating. I could see him being irritated with it and being like, hey, that's not cool. Like, we're losing a doctor. He's perfectly nice. I don't know why you're such an ass to him. But he was like furious.
Well, also,
it seemed like
he and Billy had a falling out before Bella got there over the Cullens. And,
right.
Yeah.
So he took it seriously.
And not to mention the fact that his daughter was just hurt because his daughter cares so much about them. And
but he hates Edward.
I don't think he hates.
He doesn't before this. I think that he thinks Edward is a nice boy up till the first fight that where Bella's like, leave me alone, Edward. She runs out of the house because that's because they're going to Phoenix. He starts to suspect him around there. But I think it's not till this moment when Bella is found in the forest after Edward leaves that he's like, that Edward, I don't know about him. He hurt her. He said something to her. He did something where he's like, no, that's enough for Charlie. And honestly, same. Like, this is the moment where I was like, Edward hurt me.
Yeah.
Middle school, Lily was like, I took that fucking personally. I was like, how dare he do that? Like, he left when he promised that he would never leave. Okay, maybe I have abandonment problems.
Oh, no.
You know, but
you're totally on. No, that is completely accurate and correct to feel that way.
Well, I mean, I do have abandonment issues. However, it really stuck into my heart. And as like a 13-year-old reading this, I don't know, I was like 13 or 14 probably, just realizing like, wow, I can't believe he would do that to her. But like, this is supposed to be a love story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I also have like attachment / abandonment issues. So I get that.
Yeah. And I think once she, quote unquote, wakes up, she, as I think chapter 4 is appropriately titled, Waking Up, we see Bella start to realize, okay, he's not coming back. And
although she
I'm
still
gonna
doesn't
have
want
to
to leave
continue
Forks.
living.
Just in case.
Yeah, she does not want to leave Forks. Which, speaking of, when Charlie kind of confronts her in the beginning of this chapter, which I love, by the way,
he's finally
part of me
acting
was
like a parent.
Yes. Part of me was like, is Charlie also worried that she doesn't want to stay in Forks because of the thing that happened with Renee and because she ran out the few months prior, you know, was like, I don't want to stay in Forks. Is he also thinking of that, you know?
Probably. That whole forest thing, I felt so bad for him and how hard that was for him.
Yeah, I know, right? Think of this from the perspective of Charlie. Like, he's witnessed some crazy shit in the last, when he was home. He's witnessed some crazy shit.
And he's
in terms
gonna have
of his daughter.
Abandonment issues.
Yeah.
Himself. And it's, all of that. I'm shocked he's not paranoid that she's going to leave or that she doesn't want to be there or that she doesn't love him.
He probably is.
Yeah, he probably is. I did think it was sweet that he was like, Bella, when your mom left and took you, I was having a really hard time too. But he was like, but I got through it and you're not getting through it.
Well,
you need help.
It's perfectly normal to fall into some kind of depression.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I've curled up into my bed and just slept for days. And I've been in that point where she talks about, I have this haze over me where I don't feel. I've done that.
A lot of people have experienced that.
Yeah.
And then for it to go on for 4 months, it's
he's right that she's
crazy.
That it's concerning. Yeah.
I was telling Christy, I was like, if only Disney came out with Let It Go back then.
Well,
we could just play Elsa for Let It Go.
Depression looks different for everybody. And so for some people it lasts a very long time and some people it doesn't.
I'm not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying like somebody should have helped her try to move out because she's literally not trying right now.
Right.
Mm-mm.
The only way she's gonna get out of that depression is to try. It's not just gonna, wake up and be better one day.
I agree.
This is Charlie finally trying.
And I like that he isn't just like, buck up, get over it. That he's like, we need to get you some help.
Yeah, I thought that was actually kind of beautiful. I don't even remember reading that. I was like, wow, this is, at least he's attempting. He's like, well, either you need to get help or you need a new scenery or you need to talk to your mom. Maybe your mom can help you. He's like something's got to change. You can't continue doing this.
Tried to give you your
I think
space,
that's good.
but
Yeah.
also I said to Christy that she should have bucked up, but only in a jet, only just. It's just a boy, Bella. It's just a boy.
Yeah.
Can't even call him a man.
But yeah. And then he tells her, you need to hang out with people. And we get this crazy scene with Jessica.
This last minute, if I need to hang out with somebody, let's just do something. Spontaneous craziness.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the movies with Jessica tonight, actually, in Port Angeles. She just pulls that shit out of her ass. She's like, yeah, fine, I'm going to the movies. And then she has to figure out how to make it happen.
And I love that Jessica's like, oh, you speak to me now? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, okay, I guess we can hang out. There's this rom-com that we could go see. And Bella's like, no.
Nope.
Zombies.
Not that.
Zombies is definitely the best choice. Which I've been on a date with a guy. We went and saw a zombie movie. It's not.
I have a vivid memory of World War Z specifically.
Resident Evil.
That was a crazy date. Oh yeah, Resident Evil. I also saw that on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went vegetarian after that for a short period of time because like the meat, when they slice them and they just slither off. Yeah. I was like, nope, no more meat.
You're like, that's good with me.
But anyway, I mean, zombie movies can be romantic. I'm just saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Just depends on the movie. So after they leave the movie and Bella's comparing herself to a zombie, they're like, let's go get something to eat. And they're walking along the street and she sees these guys at a bar. Yeah, because she's like, I don't care what we eat. So Jessica's like, okay, McDonald's.
And Jessica has the proper reaction that every other girl would have, where she's like, just stare straight ahead. Don't pay them any attention. Let's go. Keys between the knuckles.
Yeah, right? And Bella decides that she's gonna maybe approach them. And Jessica's like, what the hell are you doing?
Well,
what are you doing?
She's like, I think I know that guy. And in her head, she's like, that might be the guy that tried to rape me and murder me.
Well, she puts her and Jessica in danger.
Yeah. And I understand. I've been there with the whole adrenaline rush, trying to forget things.
Yeah. But doing anything to not feel the way that you feel. I definitely get that.
There are other ways to do it. I went skydiving. It's fun.
Skydiving is wild.
Nope. No. I mean, crispy pancakes.
What?
Some people turn to drugs. Some people drink. Some people apparently approach strange men.
Strange men that she thinks attacked her.
I know, but I think for her, as the character, that the last time this happened, Edward showed up. And maybe to her, she felt like if she put herself in that situation, that he would show up again.
And I get that. I get that. It's Delulu logic. That's what I thought too. But
yeah,
it's like getting in the car with a stranger. You don't know who that person is.
What really concerns me is that she hears Edward's voice in her mind and she thinks, oh, this is eliciting a reaction in my mind. I'm remembering him. I can see him. I can hear him now. And she's like, I want that more. And so she keeps going forward and she gets herself in this situation purely because she is hallucinating.
Yeah.
She is full on having a mental breakdown.
Is she, or isn't it? Don't we find out later that he is actually talking to her, that he knows what's going on?
No, really? he was never there. She was hallucinating.
I love the thought, though. I put that in the notes. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we found out that he actually did have the power to project his thoughts into other people? And that was just part of his gift. And when she's in danger, he's able to connect easier to her or something.
That would have been cool.
I don't know why I thought that.
And less
that was actually him.
Well,
I don't know.
You know what's funny is when I first read this, I think I didn't fully understand what was happening. I thought he was there, or maybe the something was happening like what Brittany described. In my mind, I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that she was hallucinating him so vividly because I don't know. I think as a kid, I was just like, surely she's not just making this shit up with her mind. Do you know what I mean? I was like, surely Edward has come back because that makes more sense to me. Edward truly loves her. Edward would come back and check on her. But that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's actually so much worse.
Yeah. I will say this. I went to school for creative writing because I do have these semi types of situations in my head. I have conversations with people. I have very vivid dreams. I was telling Christy about a conversation that the whole leader thing, that was a conversation that just happened to be in my head.
And you do have vivid dreams.
But never have I ever actually heard their voice in my head. It's always me, but I can picture the conversation.
Yeah.
But it's me, and I understand that it's me having this conversation with myself.
I think because I was in complete denial of what was happening, I never caught that. Stephenie Meyer writes, Bella says when she's talking to these guys, who would have thought that I was standing there and enjoying an unexpected moment of insanity? Even Bella's like, this is insane. And then she talks to them for a second and she's like, hi. And they're like, can we buy you a drink? And she's like, I'm too young.
And they're like, well, then why did you come over here?
Yeah. And she's like, oh, these aren't dangerous men. I lost interest. And I'm like, Bella, what the
Again.
Oh my God.
You never know what a serial killer looks like. Most these people who've lived next to serial killers, they're like, I would have never guessed.
Yeah.
You never know. It is insane.
She's not a good role model, you know?
She's just dumb. And
not a good role model.
I have done dumb things as a teenager. I have.
Same.
But are you kidding me?
You know, we can look back on it as adults and be like, girl, what the fuck?
I've never approached 4 Men at a bar as on my own.
I mean, that's
I haven't done that, but I've done other dumb stuff, and unfortunately, it was well past being a teenager.
Yeah, and approaching men at a bar.
I did stupid stuff as an adult too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, approaching men at a bar is not the problem. Like men that you don't know, people do that all the time. The issue, there's so many issues. Like, well, people meet people at bars, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not crazy. What's crazy is one, she's a child.
Hopefully not teenagers.
Yeah. Two, she's with, by child, I mean a teenager. Two, she's with her friend and she's leaving her friend to do this nonsense. That's a big issue.
Yeah.
She completely ignores Jessica because she wants 5 seconds of hearing Edward in her brain. And then 3, she's hallucinating.
Yeah.
And again, she, as Christy pointed out, she's putting Jessica in danger because Jessica's not going to leave her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which...
Oh, and 4, as you said, Brittany, she thinks that she's approaching dangerous men and she wants that.
Which I did want to point out that in Midnight Sun, we do learn that Edward and Carlisle actually murder the men that attacked Bella and dump their bodies in another state. I think,
What a guy.
Really?
What a guy.
Excuse me, Carlisle?
Yeah. Because Carlisle agreed to do it the humane way or something, if I remember correctly, or something.
Yeah. Edward really wanted to do that, though.
What humane way? Did they break their necks? Because I think, as we discussed, their teeth are entirely inhumane.
I think they injected them with something. I can't remember.
Yeah.
The
last section is a blur to me. I was so ready to be done.
So it's like a poke and pass? Like CIA kind of...
Well, Carlisle's just running around injecting people with his medicine to steal cars and...
Yeah. The lady with the van.
Yeah, and do shit, so...
All kinds of stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This is a PSA. Bella is not a role model. Do not learn from her.
Yeah. And for Jessica, too, this really got to me. We are about to talk about suicide. like in probably more detail than we've been. But Jessica goes up to Bella and says, "Are you suicidal?" And Bella's response of, "What? Like, I didn't cut my wrist. I'm not suicidal. It's not like I'm doing this." That is absolutely 100% suicidal behavior, to approach men you think are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's 100% suicidal behavior, but it's definitely mentally unwell behavior. A lack of concern about your own life.
I mean,
it felt like she wanted them to put her out of her misery.
It did.
Yeah.
It felt, she wanted Edward to show up out of nowhere, but
yeah,
it felt like she didn't give a crap about her life. And my main point about bringing this up is that just because you didn't cut your wrist, just because you didn't take pills or take a gun to your head or whatever, doesn't mean that your actions are not suicidal. That you don't have suicidal thoughts and ideations.
Ideations.
It's not that clear cut.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And I dislike that Stephanie Meyer put that in the book. Just because I didn't slit my wrist means I'm not suicidal.
Right. Mm-hmm. No, that's a fair point. I think it's definitely concerning for Bella to be so unconcerned about her safety.
Yeah.
And Stephanie Meyer doesn't seem to grasp how that could look, you know?
And we've talked about the, Final Destination coming after her. She is so fucking lucky in this situation.
Yeah.
So fucking lucky that she did not get herself and Jessica killed.
Or in some kind of trouble, because they didn't care. They were like, we don't really care if you're underage. You can still hang out with us. And it's like, oh, that's really sleazy. That's gross. That's grimy.
Yeah.
I
also have to mention that I completely understand I had a conversation with Christy about this the other day. She does not want to think about Edward's name. She just calls him he. And
yes.
There is somebody in my life that I don't want to think about their name. I don't want them associated with other people named that.
I have done that before in my own mind as well, where you're like, I'm not going to speak the name. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about them. I don't want to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely felt that before.
Yeah.
I don't know what Stephanie Meyer went through, but girl, and I understand.
Yeah. And I also understand Jessica's dropping her off and being like, yeah, sure, bye.
Yeah. I mean, she used Jessica in this scene. She really used her as not only to appease Charlie, but to just feel something in a way. And she didn't even give Jessica the fucking time of day. Didn't even try.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't even talk to her and tell her what was going on.
No.
And she'll end up using Jacob as well.
And I know it's hard as someone, I know it's hard when you are in that kind of state of mind to make yourself get out and be a part of things. But that doesn't mean that you can just expect things from people, you know? You just can't expect everyone to just fix things for you or just be open-minded for you or just, that is the difficult thing about mental illness is people don't have an obligation to cater to you because you are having a shitty life. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like nowadays, a lot of people use mental illness as a reason to get away with things and just be like shitty people. And it's like, okay, you may have a mental illness, but that doesn't mean you can just be an ass.
Yeah.
It might explain some things, but that doesn't excuse it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, your depression is not necessarily everyone's problem, you know?
Well, not just that, but you can learn.
Yeah.
You can learn from it and do better. I mean, again, something for me, I think that's something that I kind of deal with in learning certain things and trying to do better. And of course, you fuck up and there are things that I deal with, but it doesn't make it to where I can't learn to be better. It just might take me longer to get there.
Yeah. But and it sounds harsh.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
I don't mean it to sound harsh, but I mean it as in like as a person who has relationships with other people.
Yeah.
It can't be your excuse for everything.
I don't think it sounds harsh.
When you have issues, you say if we said something that, you were having a bad day, you would come to us and be like, look, this hit wrong.
Yeah.
And
that's hard to do. And it's hard to have conversations with your friends like that. Like, that's something you have to learn, to be like, hey, I was having a shitty day. I'm sorry I did this. And that is a hard thing to swallow sometimes for some people. And that's fair. But sometimes you just gotta do better.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it was a fair assessment of that.
I just don't want people to think that I'm saying mental illness that mental illness doesn't have deep repercussions of how you interact with the world. That's not what I mean. Obviously, if you're someone who cares little about your life, or if you're having suicidal ideations, or if you're depressed or you have really bad anxiety, that's going to affect how you talk to people and your friends and stuff, unequivocally. But what I mean is, you can't expect your friends to always be ready to give you the...
You can't have them always making accommodations and
giving
themselves to you when you're not giving anything back.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yes.
That's exactly what I mean. It has to be a mutual understanding.
Yes.
And for Bella to just be like, I need to go to the movies. Will you take me to the movies? And Jessica goes out of her way. She tries. She's like, I'm upset with you because you aren't really trying to be my friend, but I'll do it. And then she just kind of doesn't even try all night. It's sad.
And she misses half the movie because she's like, oh, there's a romance at the beginning. Let me go get food.
Yeah.
And then lying to her about, oh yeah, I left because I was scared.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it would be okay to be honest with Jessica and be like, to be honest, I'm kind of having a hard time watching anything romantic or anything right now.
Yeah.
And to be fair, maybe Jessica wouldn't really understand because she's a little shallow. But I don't think there's anything wrong in just being honest with her.
I'm having a hard time with this. I know it's crazy, but...
And then if Jessica doesn't respond well, that's on Jessica.
Yeah.
But then at least Bella would have been honest with her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we're psychoanalyzing too much, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. No, I felt bad for Jessica in this. I felt like she really tried. I felt like she gave her the benefit of the doubt, and that Bella was really unfair.
Yeah. Like, man, depression's hard.
It is.
Depression is hard. And then it's only going to get crazier from here, guys.
And while depression is hard, again, we repeat.
But at least we get Jacob.
Again, we repeat, you have to try to get out of it.
Yeah.
Work on it to get better.
Yeah. It takes some effort on your part. It does suck, but it takes some effort. All right.
It will be better.
I can't wait to get to the next section because I can't wait to see little baby Jacob.
Jacob. Who is no longer little baby Jacob. He's no longer little baby Jacob. He's 25-year-old Jacob in a 16-year-old boy's body.
I thought that was in the third book.
Nope.
Or is it this?
Like I said, I accidentally read chapter 5. He's 6-something and has a deeper voice when she goes to visit him.
Oh, and he's already like a furnace. Oh, I always loved that. I was like, he sounds so warm and cuddly. Like I would cuddle the fuck out of him.
Dang it. I like to cuddle.
I'm sorry to everyone that we're bragging on the characters so hard.
This was a less laughy episode.
Yeah, not as fun episode, I guess, in terms of insanity. But it's New Moon. I mean, like, this book
it's hard.
Is so...
This book should have been New Moon, Depression era.
Yeah. This one gets a little serious, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll end it there. We hope that you'll join us for next week's episode, despite the depressing nature of this one. We'll be discussing New Moon chapters 5 through 9. New episodes drop each week, and don't forget to check out last season's discussion on the Empyrean series.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. That like and follow are super important for us to continue to bring you new episodes each week. So please, please, please do so. You can also support us by joining us on Patreon. Thank you for listening to the Midnight Readers podcast. We'll see you next week.
Happy reading, listeners. Don't stay up too late.